The path to 10,000 orders is a lot simpler than you might think. And today we're going to go over the settings you need to lock into place so that this can happen for you too. Most sellers struggle to make money on Etsy even if they have beautiful photos, great branding, great SEO. And the simple truth is that the best Etsy shops that grow the fastest are not relying on Etsy to drive all of their traffic. So today we're going to go over the simplest path to get your next 10,000 orders on Etsy, and most sellers overcomplicate this. So I'm going to keep it really simple for you. We're going to focus on 3 super simple levers. The first one is loss leaders, the second one is SEO optimization, and then the third one is external traffic. The first mistake is most sellers focus on making high profit on every listing. Second, they'll launch 10 products and then just wait. Third, they'll focus on perfecting their branding before they have traction. Fourth, they're only relying on Etsy search to bring them traffic. And all of these things put your shop in slow mode. So if you want to get your next 10,000 orders, stop thinking about profit first and start thinking about orders per day. The core strategy to this is through loss leaders. I recommend having half of your product mix as loss leaders. And each loss leader listing should aim for 20 orders per day. That is the goal. Now, what is a loss leader? A product that is a lower price point product, usually under $15, is ideal. And the whole idea is to not lose money on this, but you could break even or make like $1 per transaction. It also has to have mass appeal. So it's not a super niche specific thing that only 1% of the population would like. It is not seasonal, and it's a product that doesn't take much time or effort from you. So the whole purpose of the listing is not to make a profit, not to pay your mortgage. The whole purpose of that listing is to increase the number of orders you're getting per day. What happens is when your loss leader listings have a high order velocity, those other listings that are more profitable, your more expensive items, those end up ranking higher. Most sellers don't put those pieces together. They just want to make a good profit on every listing, but you have to be willing to look at your blended profit margin. If you're trying to have the exact same profit on every single listing, you will never maximize your shop's profit potential. Let's talk about a real life example. So let's say digital planners. The cost to make that, basically nothing. You could price it at $2.99 and sell 20 per day. That is 600 orders per month or 7,200 orders per year on that one listing. Now, if you rotated through 5 to 10 of these, your shop could easily hit 10,000 sales. Now, that's with a digital example. Let's talk about a physical example. Let's say you get into the sourced category. I love the sourced category. That's where supplies live. Let's say you find something in the supply category that is $1 and you sell it for $2. But let's say you sell 50 to 20 of these per day. That order velocity elevates the rest of the listings in your entire shop. So let's talk about why Etsy likes these loss leaders. They like high order velocity. They like high engagement. They like to see a strong conversion rate, and they like to see that consistent activity in your shop. So when you sell lots of these loss leaders, your shop's order count climbs quickly, which builds social proof. You're getting reviews much faster. You're getting bestseller badges on these loss leader listings, and your other listings get more visibility. That order count, it's social proof, because would you rather buy from a shop with 83 sales or a shop with 8,300 sales? And not to mention, selling lots of loss leaders will elevate the ranking of your higher price point listings, because Etsy sees that this shop converts and that momentum is seen from your shop overall. So I want to show you some of my loss leader listings. We're going to look at my inactive listings, and we're going to you can see the stats are turned on, and I'm going to go to the section of silk flowers. These were loss leaders for me. So you will see the number of orders that were happening on these. 276 sales, only $498 in revenue. However, super helpful. This one, 573 orders, $8,000 in revenue. This was a great loss leader. This one, 649 orders, $18,000 in revenue. Not a profit driver, but it elevated the ranking of my other listings. This was another one, 866 orders, $7,000 in revenue. Clearly loss leader price point, and you can see you could get a set of 5 flowers for $1.99, but you can see these cherry blossoms came on a garland that was 33 cents. 33 cents. And I'm selling each little sprig, 5 little flowers for $1.99, that entire garland was 33 cents. And this makes a fantastic loss leader. You're simply putting these in a little pouch and sending them on their way. Let me show you another example. I love this example for jewelry shops, and this is when I looked up ring sizers. So what I did was I clicked on a couple of the shops that are selling these ring sizer. And you can see these ring sizers have popular now badges. When we click on them, 601 reviews, which just, shows it sold much, much more than that. 4,500 reviews, and it's in 20 carts, but that's not what this shop is known for. When we look at this shop, then we see, oh wow, they are actually selling much more expensive items. And what that does is when this sells, if this is in 20 carts, it's selling, let's say 20 times a day, we are now seeing the rest of these listings, these more expensive listings, rank higher. And you can see like 4,500 reviews came from this, and the shop itself has 12,000 reviews. So over a third of the reviews came from that ring sizer, which is incredible because it just shows that this one loss leader created so much social proof and showed that people had a good experience buying from this shop and they received what they expected to receive. And now it encourages other people to purchase from the shop and it elevates the ranking of the other listings. We have to go through a constant rotation framework. The idea is you're constantly rotating in new loss leaders, testing new ones, and it's not just one or two, but you are doing, let's say 10 to 30 new loss leaders every month. And this is super easy for both digital and sourced products. It makes it super easy because it's not really taking your time. And some of the best categories for loss leaders are digital, so like printable planners, templates, invitations, patterns, wall art, party decor. And then in the sourced category, I love this. This is what I did primarily: craft supplies, flower heads. Literally, you can buy them from Hobby Lobby in a garland, pull the heads off. It's less than 30 cents per flower head. You can sell each of these flower heads for $2. Print on demand, that works as well. You can use an entire category for loss leaders within POD, but it is more competitive, I will say, and your margins are going to be tighter and your design must be stronger in order to win. Now, what about SEO? Because cheap products, they really don't matter if no one is going to see them. So I'm going to give you the simplest SEO strategy. You don't need complex hacks. You just need a simple framework. And the framework is 4 things: long tail keywords, high listing count, no overlapping in your keywords, and then volume. So let's say for this, we add 100 listings minimum of loss leaders. Each one will have unique long tail keyword sets. And a long tail keyword is really a phrase that has 3 words or more in it. So instead of like pink mug, it would be like postpartum coffee mug for new mom. That is an example of a long tail keyword. Okay, and the more listings you have means the more unique long tail keywords you have because you're not using the same keywords across your listings. Every listing will have new long tail keywords. So the more listings you have, the more surface area you're covering in Etsy search results and the more chances you have to be found. Here's the multiplier that most people ignore when they're trying to get their first 10,000 orders. This is external traffic. And the shops that reach 10,000 orders the fastest are not relying only on Etsy for their traffic. They are using other platforms like Pinterest, right? Doing high volume pinning. They're doing evergreen traffic from Facebook in warm kind of niche or customer specific groups. They're doing high engagement posts on Instagram. They're nurturing repeat customers over Instagram to increase the lifetime value of the customer. And they're doing very engaging posts and stories on Instagram to increase the lifetime value of their current customers. When you combine loss leaders with the right SEO and then some external traffic, you will see a snowball of order volume. That is why, your first 100 orders are the hardest. Then it's the first 1,000 are the next hardest. But once you have 4,000, 5,000 orders, getting to 10,000, it's really not difficult. You just follow this repeatable, simple framework. And now here's something a lot of people ask. When should you stop using loss leaders? I would never recommend walking away from loss leaders altogether because it simply just lowers your customer acquisition cost. It's kind of like having extra fishing poles out there that are high converting. But when should you move out of this super aggressive loss leader strategy where half of your shop is loss leaders? I would say when you are consistently hitting your income goals. You have tons of bestseller badges. You have a strong strong repeat customer base. Your traffic is super stable every month, slowly increasing every month, and you've been raising your prices gradually and not discounting so much, then I would recommend keeping your top performing loss leaders and retiring anything that's not paying rent or that's not giving you daily sales. Because not every loss leader will get to 20 orders a day. That's the goal. But some of those loss leaders that might be giving you like 1 to 2 orders a day, comparing those to the loss leaders giving you 20 orders a day, those would be the ones to retire. So think of loss leaders as kind of anchors for your shop. These are drivers of consistency. These amplify traffic. These help your ranking stay consistent with your other listings. So to summarize, to keep this super simple, half of your listings when you're starting out have rotating loss leaders. Aim for 20 orders per day on your top performing loss leaders. Add listings consistently. Drive external traffic to them with Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. It's usually going to be 12 to 18 months or until you're consistently hitting your financial goals. Getting to 10,000 orders, this is very scientific. It's calculated. It's math. It's not magic. And most people overcomplicate Etsy. They think that branding is everything, or a new logo will fix their shop, or one perfect product will explode things for them. At the end of the day, volume wins, order velocity wins, and consistent growth month over month wins. And loss leaders make all of that much more simple to accomplish. Now, if you want to know exactly how to structure a loss leader listing so it can actually hit 20 orders per day, I break down all of these strategies in my next video here. So I encourage you to watch that next. And I can't wait to hear about your results with this framework.